Hi everyone, it's O Musical Me. I wanted to do this video for somebody special. His name is Zach Eudy, and this was originally supposed to be for Autism Awareness Month. However, I ran into a bunch of snags, and that turned into a pretty silver lining. Like, why just, I know it's May, but why end it in April? Why isn't it Autism Awareness Year? Like, I get why we designate these days and months, but it just kind of bothers me because people just push it to the side once it's over, you know? Like, I could sit here and tell you statistics all day. I could sit here and say 1 in 69 children will be diagnosed with autism. Great. You can do that research too. So my awareness is to get you to want to learn about other people and their perspectives, their struggles, what they're going through. And I want to talk after I make a song. I wanted to discuss how this pandemic is actually affecting people who fall somewhere on the autistic spectrum. So I'm losing my train of thought because I'm thinking about the song. I'm so sorry, but I don't edit these, and I know I say that all the time, but you know, I always get somebody, whether it's here or on a different platform, telling me how much I suck. So I'm, you know, it is what it is. I don't care. Everybody sucks. Everybody has something wrong with them. So, and the one thing I will say is I want to see the stigma that people with autism are somehow stupid. That is, I just can't even imagine that. Like, some of the smartest people I have ever met have been on the spectrum. So, like, I just want that to end. I'm really sick of that one. So, I will discuss more after, but I wanted to talk about Zach specifically. He asked me to make this video, and like I said, I kind of felt like I let him down by not getting it out in time. And then, like I said, I found that optimistic twist on it that maybe we could encourage people to do this for the rest of the year. Like, Autism Awareness Year starts May 1st. That's what I would like to see. But Zach came to my channel when I was literally ready to just not post anymore, and he kept encouraging me. And so then it got to the point where I didn't really care. I just wanted to post a video and hope that Zach liked it when I was posting songs. So, you know, that's everybody that is a good person should be lucky enough to have somebody like Zach in their corner, because you will not find a more loyal person or fan or whatever you want to call him. He's awesome. He's my friend, and I'm very grateful that he has been so awesome and loving and encouraging and sweet to me. And if I can return that in any form to him, I just want him to know that I'm in his corner in the same way that he is in mine. So I wrote this song, and I hope he likes it, because I couldn't think of any other song that I could play that would really, you know, that would do well for this. So, pardon me, I'm going to clear my throat. I do not have fucking COVID. I have allergies. No product placement, sorry. Don't. And I'm not Trump, I just don't want to get in trouble for having the label. I don't have to use both of my little tiny hands to drink some water. So, Zach, I hope you're watching. I hope you enjoy the song. I don't care if I get any other likes, but this is for you and anybody who is on the autism spectrum. This is for you as well. So, I hope you guys enjoy it. Can't help but hide inside my mind, behind my shell. My gray matter's a prison cell for me that you can't see inside my brain, but it's okay. It's just the way that I was made. My words feel like they're wrapped in chains. I'm sorry I don't say your name. Please understand if I don't hold your hand. I'm sorry I'm not being mean. Could you just have patience with me? And I don't compromise, but it's not you. Don't take it personally, it's just something I do. But I'm still perfect being perfect me. My words feel like they're wrapped in chains. I'm sorry I don't say your name. Oh, please understand if I don't hold your hand. I'm sorry I'm not being mean. You could just have patience with me. I wish you could take the time to try to sympathize and see what's behind my eyes. I feel alive. Never tell you lies. Never find a heart like mine. I think I'm tired of apologizing. That my words feel like they're wrapped in chains. Sorry I don't say your name. Oh, please understand if I don't hold your hand. I'm sorry I'm not being mean. You could just have patience with me. I hope you like it, Zach. I hope everybody likes it. Allergies are getting really bad, and I've tried to do it so many times that my voice is really going out, and I almost cry like every time I've tried to record it too. I don't know if you could hear my voice like getting shaky and stuff, especially on the high notes. So I am very emotional when it comes to music, so that just tends to happen if it's like, I'm not saying my music is that great. It's any music can touch me like that, and it's because I am so passionate about it, and I care about Zach, and I care about people who are suffering worse than I am. Like, I've always been a fighter, and I want to fight for somebody who feels like they need it. So the fact is that this pandemic has thrown this beautiful community of people into utter chaos. Somebody that relies on structure and routine and doesn't handle change as well as everybody else. And there's the aspect of now, kids are that suffer through, like, there are children that are struggling through so many things right now as it is. Kids in poverty, like, there's just so much attached to this. The children are the ones that are going to suffer the most with this pandemic because their lack of education. Not everybody is able to keep up with the homeschooling like they need to. There's that. And then there are people, like children especially, that fall on the autism rainbow that might be struggling because now they've got to be in a face cam to do business, or a kid that's got to get online and try and work out how they're going to get into this routine of doing their schoolwork when they maybe rely on the structure and uniformity of school, like going in there and having a regimen and knowing that they're going to have nap time and lunch or whatever. It can be like a nuke set off inside somebody to have these sudden changes and impacts. Like me, for instance, I have the OCD, so it was like, oh my god, I can't just go out and do what I'm used to doing. And I mean, like, I put my blinker on in the same spot every time when I drive someplace. I have to unplug my appliances before I leave. I don't have like, so OCD about shit. Like, no, I have real OCD. So that I'm really sympathetic with, not empathetic. I know what it's like to have that nuke crash your world with the changes, and you're like, okay, like, and you can't get out of that at all. Like, it doesn't calm down. And with me, like, I had to find a different routine and pattern, and thank God, like, I don't struggle as bad as some people do. But with children, especially that have autism, there are nonverbal forms that it manifests into, and that can be extra hard on a day-to-day. So now there are all these added frustrations, and my heart goes out. Like, as soon as Zach brought this up, that's all I could think of is like, oh my God, these kids. I lived next door to two autistic children for a very long time, and they're some of the smartest people, again, that I've ever met in my life. Like, they were amazing children. They moved away, and I could see, like, there was one day where I personally saw the bus didn't stop. They didn't see the kids for whatever reason and didn't stop. And it set poor Josh, he was 9 at the time, it set him into such a panic state. And I actually brought my daughter over, who was very small at the time, because she and him would play on the trampoline all the time, and like, that helped calm him down. But it took like hours to get him calmed down to where he was so upset. And that's what I thought of the second that Zach asked if I would make a video, was kids. And even adults. I'm not saying it's not hard on adults with autism as well. It is. It's just as hard. But we already kind of toss kids aside as it is. We just act like, oh, they're kids, keep them alive and do this, but get in the corner until I call you and need you for something. Sorry, that's just what it seems like to me. I'm not saying everybody does that, but I was thinking, like, of the adult side of it is you get into that same kind of pattern and routine, and then now you've got to have these face chats with people, and that might be very uncomfortable, especially for people who sometimes, like, not all of them have this issue, but a lot of people on the spectrum have a hard time with words, whether it's just like putting the thoughts together, calming the brain down for a second to, like, get the thoughts and get the words out. And then you have the struggle and impatience of other people that may not understand that, which would be frustrating. There are so many aspects of this. So I invite you all to just think about a plight beyond your own. This is the best time for us to reset the world and how we do things. I've been disgusted with cancel culture. I think it's gross that, like, a whole group of people will get together just based on their opinions. Like, and it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's like the James Charleses of the worlds or the Onisions or whatever. You could literally put any fact in front of all of these people. They want the opposition. Like, they want the drama. They want there to be a battle. We've got to get away from that. And not only that, like, the authorities, that's what they're there for on all fronts. Like, we've got to stop. And again, like, this has nothing to do with the political thing at all. I'm literally just talking about drama and bullshit on YouTube. You say somebody so-and-so's an asshole here. Like, I just don't get why you're so rabid to hurt each other. And, the trolling goes beyond that. Like, with all the time on your hands, like, you really want to go mob somebody on the internet and come up with your witty ass comments and sit there and basically harass people. You can't ever leave it alone, but you can't take 5 minutes out of your day to learn about the struggle of somebody with autism or OCD or ADD or whatever it is, depression, anxiety, congestive heart failure. It doesn't matter what the plight, but we have this huge ego about ourselves that we all think that we are the perfect princess and everybody else has stuff wrong with them. Every single person has something that affects them. You could be a perfectly healthy individual, mentally and physically, and still have something fucked up about your upbringing or whatever. Nobody is safe from adversity. There's something there, always. Now is the time. we need to come together as a community, as a whole. We won't survive if we don't. People are going to start going back out. They're going to start getting sick again. And then they're going to come back. And we're going to have to start actually figuring out real solutions. And part of the problem that I see is we have to get our heads out of our own asses. I have an ego. Everybody has their own sense of ego and how they are so super special. While we are all unique, you are not special in your experience. Literally, there is somebody, statistically speaking, that has lived. Maybe they're not alive right now, but they've gone through what you have. Like, I am certain that there is somebody who has gone through something like what I've experienced in my life, almost like a little doppelganger. But, you know, we have these shared experiences, but yet we somehow think that we're totally unique in everything. One thing I can say about people with autism, they say that there are 5 main types of autism. The reason why it's called a rainbow is because each one of these amazing individuals, like, it might manifest differently in them. So you may not even know that somebody has autism because assholes of the world might have made them feel so stigmatized that they don't want you to know. Maybe, you know, I'm just saying, like, you may think that you have, like, autism does not affect you in any way. But really, if you did the research outside of your own little ego bubble, you would probably realize that it does affect you in more ways than one. And if you don't have anybody in your life that has autism, you could have a child that is born with autism. And you should be prepared so we can learn and grow as a community of people together with understanding and kindness. That's what we need. Everybody is like, lol, be mad. Yeah, that's really fucking cool. You're just showing everybody what a piece of shit you are. Awesome. You care about yourself. And guess what? In the zombie apocalypse, you are not going to survive. And I am going to laugh at you. Sorry, not sorry. I don't want to lecture anybody about information. Like, I believe that you have to encourage people, and this goes with parents that have homeschool children right now. You have to encourage people to learn for themselves. You cannot hold their hand through the information because it's not going to stick. What you have to do is get them driven and encourage them and make them want to learn about it. That's how everybody should be. Pick up a damn book, learn something new, whether it's to tie a sailor's knot or to learn more about the struggles of having autism. And you might even reach out. Like, I am so thankful to have Zach, and I feel like he is almost like a brother to me now. I know that sounds silly because I've never met him in real life and I'm getting emotional, but it would be really cool if you know somebody in your life that has autism in any form. It comes in severe and mild forms, but now that if you've seen this video, now that you know that these changes and that there are struggles and maybe want to learn more, reach out to somebody that has autism and be their friend and talk to them, because you will never find a more loyal person to have in your corner. I get very passionate about things. It's a fault, I guess. I would call it a fault because I get too involved. I get angry, I get mad, and tears start to come. And I am mad at the way that the world has handled this virus, from the little shitheads that went down to the beaches in Florida for spring break because, you got to go party and catch STDs because you worked so hard in school all year or whatever. So, and people fighting with each other left and right. Like, this is a true story. There is somebody that I know that I didn't know they had autism for the longest time, and it was because she felt like embarrassed and stigmatized, and people thought that she was so rude. I thought she was hilarious. She was very concise and to the point. And again, I had no idea that she had any form of autism, but people would kind of be like, oh, she's just so rude and like hard. I mean, she just short with you. It's kind of hard sometimes for people that have autism to get their words together. So, what I found with her was she literally was just, it was a struggle to get the words out, so she was going to say what she needed to say in as little words as she could use and get to the point. And she was hilarious, very witty, and because she didn't use a lot of emotion when she spoke, like me, I'm very animated and all over the fucking place. She didn't. She was very stoic, I would say, but brilliant, so smart. Oh my god, like, had a scholarship to Duke, so I mean, she's definitely brilliant. I think that if we start a trend of looking up things, understanding from other people's perspective, that we could really make a good change in this world. Unfortunately, the last thing I will say, and I don't really give a flying shit who doesn't like me saying this, but y'all need to get your teenagers under control. Teach them respect, because the shit that I see online is fucking horrible. Like, you must be a real asshole to allow your children to be such little assholes. It's not cute or funny to be that flippant and disrespectful when you're literally wanting us to bend to your will. And again, this is straight to teenagers. This is just a little side note rant. You're asking us to bend to your will. You want to possibly vote before you're 18 in the primaries and this and that. Get your shit straight then. Stop being so disrespectful and rude. There's a world outside of your damn phone. And go take care of that world. Don't sit there and tweet about how, oh my god, the trees. Go fucking plant one, you little shit. And I fully believe that parents that are, you need to monitor your children. Your kids are going to be online more and more because of this homeschooling, and you have to be extra diligent. Clearly, you guys are not doing the greatest job as it is now, because there's even little 9-year-old shitbag trolls all over YouTube too. Like, parent your kids. You have to teach them now. And when you walk away, your slick little shitheads are going to open up another tab. They're going to be playing games. And the second in you come to check on them, they'll just go click and they'll go back to what they're doing and pretend. So you need to stay on top of it. You need to keep your children off of social media. Like, there is no 13-year-old that really needs clout, doesn't need to be on Instagram or Twitter. It's getting ridiculous. Because now you have a bunch of old, gross men that are sitting at home too. That can be like looking your kids up online. There's just more time, and people are working from home and doing the same thing where they're tabbing out so they can go look at something else behind, you know, their boss's back or whatever. Stay diligent and use this time. Now you can ground them. Now you can really ground the little shits because it's a quarantine and they're not going back to school. Take this time to teach your children. Teach them to have a little bit of respect for the adults that are going to work to save their life and hopefully get rid of this damn virus before they become parents and have to worry about their children getting it. Sorry. And vaccinate your kids. There is literally nothing to say that vaccines cause autism. And here's the other thing that really has always pissed me off. Why would you put your kid's life at risk for having smallpox or polio because you're that worried they're going to have autism? Are you kidding me? What the fuck? Like, I'm 38. If I had a kid right now, I could have a kid that has Down syndrome. Would it stop me if I had the chance to have a kid? Like, I lost a child. I had to. It was a medical necessity. I had an abortion. And I regret it all the time. So if I were married, and I would try. Why not? Like, some people say that's selfish, but like, I will never let the fear of something like autism or Down syndrome, I would never let that stop me. The reason I had to have an abortion was not because I thought my kid could be autistic or have something wrong with it. It was because it was in my fucking fallopian tube. Simple as that. It was gonna kill me. So, the people that don't want to vaccinate their children because they think it causes autism are fucking stupid. You literally just showed that you are against people with autism by saying that. When you're on this anti-vax movement, you're saying that you would love your kids less if they were born with some form of autism. And that is wrong. And that attitude is exactly what I'm talking about, trying to instill something different in your children. Because you guys are going to end up raising a bunch of fucking Karens that care more about what their kid looks like. These are the same people that'll put their kid on a fucking diet or their dog on a vegan diet, for God's sake. Don't even get me. I'm sorry. I'm starting myself. Y'all aren't getting me anything. I'm getting myself riled up. I'm going to go. I hope that you guys watch this. I'm sorry to get ranty. I get very mad about the stigmas around autism more than I do about the undereducation of the population of something that definitely affects you. You can sit here all day long and think that that's never going to touch you in any kind of way. It's not that big of a fucking deal anyway. They're great people, regardless of what form. The kid that is nonverbal still has the biggest fucking heart you're ever going to see in your life. And all he needs is love and patience and understanding. We all need a little understanding. Right now, I personally feel like the autism community and people, even the OCD community, people like that, they need extra understanding, okay? If you're doing okay and you're like, oh, this sucks, my beaches are closed, like, suck it up, sweetheart. Like, think about somebody else. Reach out. Do your homework. Please, leave me some facts about autism, leave me a story, whatever, and then pass that on. You don't have to share my video. Like, I don't give a shit about that. I'm not monetized. Like, I do want you to share the shit out of some of my other videos, but, like, this is for Zach, regardless, and to get you guys to maybe get a fire up under your ass to where you might want to reach out and learn more about autism and the effects that this pandemic is having. So, I'm just rambling now, going around in circles. Nobody's going to watch till the end of this anyway. I don't give a shit, but, you know, just share the message. Try and get somebody else to want to learn about autism and mental illness in general so we can have a better, kinder understanding of each other and quit being fucking shitbags to each other. I genuinely hope that we stay closed down for a while longer because the second wave is going to be 10 times more devastating. So if you have the ability to stay home and they're opening your shit up, don't. Just stay home. Just don't go. Like, if you can. This is going to have a long-term effect on all of us. Be kind. Start the trend now. Be fucking kind. Wash your hands. Stay in when you can. Don't touch each other. And, you know, just use your free time right now to learn about other people and what they're going through. Has anybody looked up what it's like in Zimbabwe? If there are any COVID cases in Zimbabwe right now. Who the fuck knows? I haven't looked it up. So that's what I'm going to do when I stop this camera. I want to go look up and see how many cases are in Zimbabwe. Because I really want to learn about my fellow man. I want to have a reason that I'm staying home. And people like Zach, they remind me of why I'm staying home, because there are awesome people in this world, even when it feels hopeless, when we're seeing protesters in Michigan with fucking guns that aren't getting arrested. Like, there is hope in humanity. And just know that it's okay, because when people start turning into zombies and rising up from the COVID graves, they're going to go after this stupid assholey ones anyway. So the good ones are going to be left behind. Love you guys. Thank you if you watched all 30 minutes. And I love you so much, Zach. Thank you for giving me the encouragement and support that you have on my channel. You mean the world to me. I hope you liked the song.